The U.S. Navy, a symbol of American might, found itself battling an enemy within corruption. The scandal, unfolding like a slow-burning fuse, finally detonated in the face of the Navy's leadership. At the heart of it was Leonard Glenn Francis, a Malaysian businessman known as Fat Leonard. He was the mastermind behind a bribery scheme of staggering proportions, ensnaring admirals and officers in a web of lavish gifts and illicit favors. In exchange, Francis secured lucrative contracts for his ship servicing company, Glenn Defense Marine Asia. This wasn't just about fancy dinners and luxurious hotel stays. The scandal struck at the core of the Navy's integrity. It raised questions about compromised national security and the erosion of trust in those entrusted with its defense. How deep did this conspiracy go? Who else had been compromised? These questions haunted the Navy's leadership as investigators worked tirelessly to unravel the intricate web of deceit. The recent dismissal of a high-profile case related to the scandal has sent shockwaves through the military justice system. Prosecutors faced significant setbacks, with key witnesses proving unreliable and evidence deemed inadmissible. This setback has raised concerns about accountability. If those at the highest levels of the Navy can escape justice, what message does that send? The fight for justice, it seems, is far from over. At the helm of this sprawling conspiracy was the unlikely duo of Leonard Glenn Francis and a high-ranking Navy admiral. Francis, a shrewd businessman, understood the power of influence. He cultivated relationships, exploiting weaknesses and feeding desires. The admiral, blinded by greed and a sense of entitlement, became Francis's pawn. Francis's tactics were audacious and brazen. He hosted lavish parties, plying officers with prostitutes, luxury goods, and envelopes stuffed with cash. The admiral, initially hesitant, soon succumbed to the allure of this opulent lifestyle. He became Francis's inside man, steering contracts and providing classified information. This toxic partnership flourished for years. Francis's company reaped the benefits, securing inflated contracts and preferential treatment. The admiral, meanwhile, lined his pockets and indulged in a lifestyle beyond his means. But their actions had far-reaching consequences. National security was potentially compromised as Francis gained access to sensitive information about ship movements and logistical operations. The walls began to close in on Francis and his network of corruption in 2013. The Naval Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, acting on a tip-off, launched a covert investigation. They meticulously pieced together evidence, tracking financial transactions and conducting surveillance. The scope of the scandal became horrifyingly clear. What started as an investigation into one corrupt businessman quickly spiraled. It ensnared dozens of Navy personnel, from low-ranking officers to high-ranking admirals. The investigation exposed a culture of entitlement and a blatant disregard for ethical conduct. The Navy, once a symbol of honor, was now mired in disgrace. In a shocking turn of events, Francis fled house arrest in San Diego in 2015. He had been cooperating with authorities, providing valuable information about the bribery ring. His escape, a major embarrassment for law enforcement, raised suspicions about his true intentions. Had he been playing a double game all along? The search for Francis became an international manhunt, further tarnishing the Navy's reputation. A glimmer of hope, then darkness. The dismissed case and its aftermath. The recent dismissal of a high-profile case against several Navy officers was a significant blow to the government's pursuit of justice. Prosecutors had built a seemingly strong case, relying on Francis's testimony and a trove of incriminating evidence. However, the case unraveled due to concerns about witness credibility and procedural errors. The judge's decision to dismiss the case sparked outrage and disappointment. Critics argued that it set a dangerous precedent, allowing those in positions of power to evade accountability. The Navy's leadership faced renewed scrutiny, with calls for greater transparency and accountability. The dismissed case has cast a long shadow over the Navy's efforts to move past the scandal. It has highlighted the challenges of prosecuting complex corruption cases, particularly when they involve high-ranking officials. The question remains, will anyone be held truly accountable for this betrayal of public trust? The price of silence eroded trust and the shadow of doubt. The fallout from the scandal extends far beyond the courtroom. The Navy's reputation, once a source of national pride, has been tarnished. Public trust in the institution has been eroded, replaced by skepticism and doubt. The scandal has also exposed systemic issues within the Navy's culture. The case has revealed a culture of silence and complicity. It raises uncomfortable questions about the ethical climate within the Navy. Were officers pressured to turn a blind eye to corruption? Did the pursuit of promotions and accolades outweigh their duty to uphold the law? The Navy now faces the daunting task of rebuilding its reputation and restoring public trust. This will require a comprehensive overhaul of its ethics training and a renewed commitment to transparency and accountability. The road to redemption will be long and arduous. Troubled waters ahead, the long road to restoring faith. The U.S. Navy bribery scandal serves as a stark reminder of the corrosive nature of corruption. It highlights the importance of strong ethical leadership, transparent procurement processes, and a culture of accountability. The Navy must learn from its mistakes and take decisive action to prevent similar scandals from occurring in the future. The recent setback in court should not deter the pursuit of justice. Investigators and prosecutors must remain vigilant in their efforts to hold those responsible accountable. The Navy must also prioritize supporting whistleblowers and creating a culture where individuals feel safe reporting wrongdoing. The road to restoring faith in the U.S. Navy will be long and challenging. It will require a sustained commitment from leadership at all levels to address the systemic issues that allowed this scandal to occur. Only through transparency, accountability, and a steadfast commitment to ethical conduct can the Navy hope to regain the trust of the nation it serves.